Welcome to Jude Nnam Music Training Session. In this video, we are continuing our talk about good singing tips. It is important that you link up and follow us at our previous presentations on part 1, part 2, and part 3 of good singing tips. In this video, we are concluding our discussion on good singing tips. Previously, we have handled tips on being in control, good tone, strong vocal support, suitable volume, suitable style, consistency, musical phrasing, versatility, self-awareness, use of your ears, knowing your range. Now we begin with breath control. Breath control is your ability to take in your breath and expel without interrupting your singing. Your ability to breathe in and out while singing is breath control. Your ability to take in your breath without interrupting the flow of the music. The control you have over your breath. Taking the air in and exhausting the air out. In, out. In, out. Without interrupting the flow of the music makes you a good singer. There are songs that need a technical approach to your breath. There are songs that you can sing effortlessly without actually thinking about your breath. Choose your songs well, knowing your ability, knowing what you can control. If you are someone who runs out of breath most of the time, then choose those songs that will not make them obvious. If you are someone who sings and can run your notes without interruption, then it's good to take such challenges and let them flow. But most of the time, your audience must not know that you are struggling with your breath. So your ability to control your breath makes you a good singer. I want to take a song to explain what I mean. Cherry ripe. Cherry ripe, ripe, I cry, full and fair ones come and buy. Cherry ripe, ripe, I cry, full and fair ones come and buy. Now listen to this. Cherry ripe, ripe, I cry, full and fair ones come and buy. Cherry ripe, ripe, I cry, full and fair ones come and buy. It is obvious that the first one is nice, but the second one is connected. It is the breath, the ability to take in your breath and take it through, being mindful of the phrasing. One of the tips we talked about phrase marking. the ability for you to phrase the songs. This is where breath control comes into use. You take your breath and then hit your note and take the sound uninterrupted with the same breath until you get to the end of that before you snatch another. A good singer will always remind you of this. Make it seem easy. This is another thing. Make it seem easy. Singing is not easy. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of energy. You put in so much to come out to perform. But while performing, please make it seem easy. It has a way of making your listeners relax. It has a way of making them connected to you and to your song. When you take the songs, do not let them see you struggling with your breath. Do not let them see you struggling with your notes. Do not let your listeners see you struggling with words. The lyrics, the sound, the notes, the voice, everything has to move on smoothly and easily. So it's important to make them seem easy. When you are approaching notes that are very high, there is always the temptation to squeeze your face or even if it is a range that is higher than you use, then that is where the challenge is. That's why it's always good to make sure you have songs that are within your range, like we discussed earlier. So make it easier, make it look easy. It is not easy actually, but it's important that a good singer keeps his listeners, his audience at ease. Know your voice is the next thing. Do you know your voice? Have you listened to yourself? Have you been able to record yourself and play it out to yourself? Every good singer should be able to know that your voice will always sound different to other people. What I'm saying now sounds different to me than when I listen to it. Therefore, it's important for a good singer to find time to record his or her voice over and over and play them back over and over. What you gain by doing that? It gives you an idea of what your voice sounds like. It tells you exactly what you are giving out to the people, to the audience. And when you have gotten used to how your voice sounds, something wonderful happens. It builds confidence, which is one of the greatest instruments a good singer needs. There are people who don't like the way their voice sounds. Unfortunately, you can't change that because that is a unique quality given to you by God. What you do, you make use of your voice the way it is, and then make the best out of it. When I was young, I listened to people who actually performed rock music. I was like, how on earth can people be allowed to sing that way? When I'm older now, I know that rock music actually, rough voices are actually used to sing rock songs. Why? Because it is actually part of that genre, musical genre. If you have a rough voice, with training, with good teaching, training, I'm sure it can be improved. But you can also make use of your voice the way it is. Smoothen the edges, and then make it come out more beautiful. So know your voice and be confident that with whatever voice God has given to you, you can be confident and be able to, proud to give your best and make a beautiful musical presentation. Finally, the next tip is looking after your voice. If you love your voice, I am sure you will not want to lose it. If you love your voice, I am sure you will want to take care of it. If you love your voice, I am sure you will want to do anything it takes to keep it healthy. So looking after your voice is one of the most important tips for a good singer. And how do you look after your voice? Just one very important thing. One very important. Do not strain your voice. Avoid anything that will make you shout. Avoid straining your voice. We talked about voice range. It is important here. We talk about breath control. It is important here. All the things that you need to do to keep your voice from straining, please do that. Your voice is your best musical instrument. There are people who love to play keyboard. There are people who love to play guitar. There are people who like to take saxophone, flutes, other string instruments, or brass instruments. Even maybe percussions. You need to buy them. You need to actually purchase them and make them yours. Your voice is the only instrument that you don't need to pay in dime to own. So why don't you take care of it? It is a gift from God. So why don't you take care of it? Avoid the things that will make your voice go weak. If you are sick and you need to do a recording and you know that your sickness actually has affected your voice, it's either you move the recording to avoid straining your voice, or you sing with some technique that will help you sing very close to the microphone, tuning your voice down, and yet projecting, giving a beautiful projection that you need in that recording. So try your best to avoid anything that will make your voice sound harsh. These are the things you need to do. Avoid the things, food, stuffs that will make your voice go bad. Avoid environments that will make your voice go bad. Avoid discussions that will make your pitch go high and therefore affect your voice. So try your best and look at the things that you know. Everybody know, you know your voice, I know my voice. So you know those things that actually affect your voice negatively. Please avoid them, and you know voice will serve you as long as you live.